Hey everybody, this is Convy. I thought I'd do something a little different, so I'm doing cooking with Convy, and so you can see the mixing bowls here. So a lot of people have been asking me, how do you make your Christmas light omelet? So I thought I'd give you a little show. Um, Nothing too in depth, but it's pretty easy, quick. Um, you know, I probably don't eat enough vegetables, so this is a good way that I get a lot of vegetables. I don't do enough maybe salads or whatever. So I've been trying to work on that. Um, but this is one of the big ways that I get my vegetables in, um, and also good protein and stuff like that. So without further ado, I'll show you the ingredients necessary. This. So what I like to do, I like a lot of peppers. So grab a green pepper, already used for it yesterday. Red pepper, same thing. Let's go. Orange pepper and yellow pepper, and that's kind of what creates the Christmas lights. And also, I like to use just some Hormel's real crumbled bacon. Sometimes I use real bacon, like that I fry up myself, but this is a little easier. It's drier, it's cleaner, and you don't have to deal with all the grease and stuff like that. So I like to use this when I can. I don't really like the imitation bacon kind of stuff. It's cheaper, but it's like, I don't know. So do that, and the eggs. So I'll start chopping up some stuff and enjoy. I do like to go pretty heavy on the peppers, and sometimes I include other things. I include, cherry tomatoes. I like cherry tomatoes because they're small, easy, and I never feel like if I use a half of one that I'm wasting anything, like I would if I used a full tomato. Now I try to use the whole thing anyway, and then so cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, anything like that. If I'm doing something with sandwiches, I might use like a Roma tomato, and just because it's easier for slices. And so, yeah. Now, I did put this probably a little bit close to the back of the fridge, which in my fridge sometimes gets a little bit too frozen, and then because of that, sometimes it gets a little bit, when it defrosts, it kind of messes with the texture a little bit. It's okay. So that's two, and they're all a little different. Why do you use multiple? Why don't you just use green peppers or just use red peppers or whatever? They're all a little different taste, so it makes every bite like a little different. Some are sweeter, some are a little more tart, and green peppers are my favorite, and they're also usually the cheapest, so I use a lot of those. I'll use it in what I call campfire potatoes. Basically, grilling potatoes, you throw in some extra peppers and stuff. Yeah. Oh, I already used that, but like I said, I like green peppers, so no harm. Sometimes I use individual baggies to store them after I take it out of the original bag. That also helps with the texture. I was a little short right now, and I knew I was doing it yesterday and today, so I figured I would just go ahead and throw it back in the original bag. Not sure if that's the most sanitary, but it works for me. All right, so orange. And, you can kind of experiment with some different things, and like I said, I throw tomatoes in there, lunch meat turkey, and what else? Any other just kind of meats that you might have around, and some people might want to do like a cucumber thing or an avocado thing. I'm not exactly an omelet expert, just I don't know. I kind of took this after my dad. He did something similar, and he's a big pepper guy, so I kind of inherited that. And alright, so I've got these. And I'll put that in my small bowl. I'm going to dump in the bacon. Obviously, you can play with however much you want or don't want. Don't put that in there. And then drop in the eggs. I usually like to do like extra large brown eggs. I ended up getting white eggs. I don't think I got them at the normal place, but yeah, it was just kind of a quick. So I usually like to go, depends on if I'm eating it with anything else. Like in this case, I'm going to try to do some pancakes too. And not too many pancakes, but so I'm going to keep it, I guess go 4 eggs. And I might end up freezing some of the extra pancakes and saving them for later in the week. A lot of times I do like to make too much food on the weekend and then just save it for lunches and stuff during the week. And so here's this. So yeah, let me scramble it up. Grab a whisk. You know, I hear you're supposed to do like an upward motion with when you scramble eggs. Like, I'm not really too keen on that. I don't know exactly how that works, but and also when you have it this thick, it's a little tougher to play around too much with technique. But I'll give you a little. So, oh, sorry, sorry. That's what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, so that is that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fry it up and see how it turns out. Alright, so now that's taken care of. I also forgot that I usually use onions. I didn't on this one just because I forgot that I had them. But, so I got those. You like to use Betty Crocker pancake mix. Nothing too fancy, but, you know, it gets the job done, and I'm not too picky about, you know, how good my pancakes are or whatever. And, you know, they're fine for me. So, I did make more eggs, so, I'm not going to go crazy, so a cup of mix and 3/4 cup of water. Usually I can just estimate if I get the bigger cup, and then, you know, I'll do the rest. So, that's good. I'm going to grab the water. Cool. So that's good. Toss in the sink. Mix it on up. So yeah, I'm repping the Renegade. Usually I tend to cook without a shirt on. Just that's what we always did in college, and it's kind of what I continue to do. Yeah, so they're playing up at Cal State's today and yesterday. They did really well yesterday. I think they lost to Boost, but they're still in the quarters. I think they went 3-1. And yeah, so I ended up making the tough decision, not to play with them this year. You know, with the AUDL, all the travel and everything else that was involved, I didn't know if I could really swing both. You know, practices were far. You know, it's a good group of guys and all that stuff. And, you know, I'll miss playing with them. But I did make the tough decision a couple weeks ago. And, I don't know, not super happy about it, but, you know, I had to make some sacrifices. And so, okay, pancakes are done. And good luck to Renegade. And, alright, so I'm going to take you over the stove. And there's the outside. Nice sunny day in LA. So, make sure this guy. Usually I like to make the initial heat setting a little bit higher on the eggs to start. and that's partially just to make sure that there's like a nice crisp finish on the bottom side. So when I flip it, it doesn't get too mushy. Um, you can. It depends on on the amount of eggs and stuff you use, but that's what I usually like to do is kind of like blacken the bottom, not blacken, but I was thinking like blackened chicken, but yeah, just try to like sear. That's it, sear the bottom, and then so I can flip it. Now sometimes it breaks up into a few different pieces if I don't wait long enough or whatever. So you just kind of play that by ear, but it's not a big deal. You just end up getting it in sections, in thirds, and it's easier to flip that way, so it's not really that big of a deal. Um, I used to use a smaller frying pan, but then I found that it would kind of go up the sides more, and it was harder to flip and all that stuff, especially when I used more eggs and when I started using a bunch of peppers. When it was just like one green pepper, one onion, I could just do it in a small pan. It was fine. But now that I usually eat, make it with a little thicker, with more peppers, more onions, stuff like that. I go with a bigger pan. It's wider, flatter, easier to break up, but I think it cooks a little evener, eat more even. Um, and so I'm gonna start this up, start the pancakes, and check in a little bit. All right, so basically just reset the camera, put you on top of the dish rack, and dropped it in. About to drop in. I like to use Pam. No specific reason. My mom uses it at home, so I kind of picked it up. So the pancakes I do on a little bit lower setting. That's usually about 3 or 4. Where, like I said, I do the eggs. It's like 5 or 6. It's probably a little bit bigger than I needed, but that's all right. So yeah, I like the griddle. See if I can get down here. All right. So I like the griddle because it's nice, flat, even surface. Yeah, that's about it. And it looks like it should make pancakes. So that's what I use for that. Big frying pan, like I said, I use for like stir fries. I use it for a lot of stuff. This, if I'm, I don't really have a wide variety of the things that I make, but I like them when I make. I like what I make, and I make what I like. So so far so good, and I'll check in when we drop the next ones. One more thing I forgot to mention. I guess I'm good at that. I usually like to throw some garlic salt on there, sometimes some seasoned salt, some Lowry's. I got a couple other things that I play around with. I like oregano, mostly on my potatoes. I love that. Let's see. Got some Perfect Pinch savory all-purpose from McCormick that's pretty good. That's kind of a mix, and I usually use that. Crushed red pepper I use on spaghetti and pizza, stuff like that. Italian seasoning, mostly just pasta. Chili powder for Taco Tuesdays, when I make my own stuff there. And ground cinnamon. I usually use French toast, stuff like that, if I do, just eggs and some bread that's maybe getting a little old. But I'm going to put some of this on the eggs today, flip over the pancake, and then I'm good. What else? Something about the pancake. Alrighty, and back where we started, just pulled off the last pancake, and so this turned out pretty good. Fell apart, like I said, so I cut it up in 3 pieces. Turned out pretty good. Pulled some apricots off the bush or tree in the backyard. Apricot season just started not too long ago. Like I said, pancakes turned out good. I like butter and syrup when I can. Don't go crazy with it. Yep, got an algae and water. I like milk. I drink a lot of milk. But water today. And yeah, ketchup. I didn't do a lot of tomatoes, so threw some ketchup on there. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully yours turned out as good as mine. And hopefully I'll have something new next time.